So you're thinking of moving to Fort Worth, Texas. In this video, we're going to show you around Benbrook, Texas, which is in the southwest corner of Fort Worth. It's surrounded by Fort Worth on three sides. We're going to take you through some neighborhoods, and we're going to show you some different price points and different homes so you can see what might fit your budget. If you stick around to the end, I'll take you to a location here in Benbrook that was used in the filming of the TV series The Chosen. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about living in Fort Worth, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market in Fort Worth. My name is Wendy Mama with Relocating to Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm a local realtor. We get calls and emails every day from people just like you hoping to make their move to Fort Worth, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 6 days or 60 days or 6 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All that contact information is down below so we can help you make a smooth move to Fort Worth. As I mentioned, we are in Benbrook, Texas. I am standing in Dutch Branch Park in front of Robot Park and Castle Park playgrounds. This is the most prominent park in Benbrook. It has a track, an outdoor track here. It's got lighted volleyball courts. It's got, in the far back, it's got tennis courts that are even marked out if you want to play pickleball instead. It's got a couple basketball goals back there. There's a couple soccer fields, and all around there's tons of baseball fields, all different ages that those fields are designed for. In the back, behind the duck park, we have couple baseball diamonds that were built by Fort Worth ISD for the Benbrook Bobcats high school baseball and softball teams. So those are used for other things on other occasions, but it's mostly their home fields. So as I mentioned, this is Robot Park and Castle Park Playground is the official names, but in my family they have been affectionately called Green Park. I lived in Benbrook for about 12 years, especially when my kids were young. My oldest son, it was just more convenient instead of calling the parks by their official name. Like I might say, let's go to Castle Park, and he would say, is that the one with the green slides? And I said, yes, that's the one with the green slides. So we just started calling this park Green Park, and so our family still calls this park Green Park, even though my oldest son is 20 years old now. There are also other parks in the area that one, Oakmont Park, had yellow slides, so we called that Yellow Park. Another one up the road had red slides, so we called that Red Park. So that's how we did it in our family. This park is also home to a lot of community events. They have the annual Heritage Fest. They have a Christmas tree lighting and fireworks festival. And up where there's some open space in the front, they have a monthly artisan and farmers market. I remember another time when my oldest was 2 or 3 years old, that we were at a festival. It might have been like the Heritage Festival, and I was talking, they had a lot of trucks, like a fire truck, and I was talking to the firemen about their process of what they do when they come up to a fire, and he was saying the first thing they do is find the fire hydrant. Well, my son, one of his toys was a little Weeble Wobble, and it was all red, and it was a fire hydrant, so we called the toy hydrant. So when the firemen, I was holding my son, and when the fireman said hydrant, my son heard the name of one of his toys, and so he echoed back, hydrant. And so every time the fireman said the word hydrant, then he had a little 2-year-old echo of hydrant. And neither the fireman nor I could keep a straight face through all of that. All right, so I moved back here to Castle Park Playground now. You might hear all the birds in the background. Those are grackles. If you're not familiar with them, kind of have a tropical sound to them. They're a big black bird with a long black tail. They're kind of iridescent when the sun shines on them, but that's what all the cackling is, the grackles, and I love hearing the sounds of the birds. So one thing I forgot to mention is about Robot Park and Castle Park. This playground equipment, I read in October 2022 report by the city of Benbrook that this actual playground equipment is slated to be replaced. It's gone a lot longer than they expected. So my kids were a little sad to hear that. Like I said, I lived in Benbrook about 12 years, especially when they were young, and they spent a lot of time on this playground equipment and they loved it. But I know whatever they put in this place will be awesome. Also, the location and everything is just beautiful. One thing that's fun about the robot slide that I forgot to mention is it used to be that kids could climb up into the head of the robot, and my kids love doing that. I will admit that it scared me a little because it was just a straight ladder that went up, and then once they were up, that ladder was just kind of a hole in the middle. So I was always a little scared that my kids would not be paying attention, would just fall back down that hole, which they never did, but it's probably a good idea that that's been closed up. Here I am inside the Castle Park playground. I just kind of wanted to show you around a little bit. My kids had a lot of fun trying to balance on those little chains with the red plastic on them. Tons and tons of fun there. There's all kinds of climbing structures here. There's the green slides that I mentioned. So anyway, this has always been just lots and lots of fun for my kids and hundreds of other kids. So Benbrook is an amazing town to live in as far as, especially for outdoor recreation. It offers endless recreation opportunities. We have up at the front of this parking lot, we have the Benbrook YMCA and Community Center. And inside they have an indoor track. They have basketball and volleyball courts, exercise equipment, and they have a child care center there, so you can work out and they can watch your children while you work out. They also have camps in the summer, so if you need something to keep your kids busy for a week or so, you can do that. Behind us is also Benbrook Lake, and we'll talk about that later. It's a 3,600 plus acre lake that was built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and they maintain that. We'll do a little drive-through and we can show you all the things that are available as far as recreation goes. We've got the YMCA, then next to that we have a putt-putt course, batting cages, lighted driving range for practicing golf, and then around the corner from that is a lighted par 3 golf course. And we can come back out and you can see the soccer fields with Fort Worth Youth Soccer Association. That's very popular around here. You can also park here at this park and get your bikes out and follow the sidewalk and take you down, a couple blocks, and you'll run into the very start of the Trinity Trails. And the Trinity Trails are a big deal here in Fort Worth. They're all over. It's 40 miles of trails. It'll take you all the way to downtown and beyond. It'll take you to the stockyards. So if you're a big cyclist, that's something that's really fun to do. You can also walk the trails. Off to the left over here we have Benbrook Stables, which is 100 acres of area for horses. People can board their horses there. They also offer lessons. They offer trail rides, hay rides. So that's a way to get into the kind of Texas Western theme around here, is to go rent a horse over there or board a horse. According to niche.com, Benbrook receives an overall grade of A-, and their top categories were health and fitness, jobs, and diversity. And Benbrook offers a dense suburban feel to people, and it tends to be conservative. One thing I love about Benbrook is that you're so quickly out into the country. 69% of people own their own homes. They have a median household income of $76,000, and we're surrounded by 3 sides by Fort Worth. So we're just immediately back into Fort Worth. If you need to go anywhere in Fort Worth, there's a lot of restaurants on Bryan Irvin, which is 2 exits away. We're going to drive around. We'll show you the main strip of Benbrook down 377. You can see there's a lot of restaurants here, but they tend to be fast food. But over in Bryan Irvin, you can get more of a sit-down restaurant. But Benbrook does have Chipotle, a new Chipotle, which my family loves Chipotle. If you're not familiar with that, it's kind of like beans, burritos, meats. You can get burrito bowls, but they never use any antibiotics in their meats or anything, and so it's organic most of the time, so it's a really healthy meal selection there. And one thing that's great about the new Benbrook Chipotle is they have the Chipotlane. So that means you can order ahead and you can go through and pick it up just like a drive-through. So we love that. So we're going to drive around a little bit and show you around Benbrook. All right, so let's get started. Actually, before we drive down the main strip of Highway 377 through Benbrook, I wanted to talk a little more golf. Benbrook proper does have its own 18-hole championship golf course called Whitestone Golf Club, which was first opened in May of 2000. It is located on 150 acres of beautiful rolling land, so you'll want to check that out if you're a golfer. There is also another public golf course nearby operated by the City of Fort Worth. The address for this course is technically located in Fort Worth, but since more than half of the course lies in Benbrook, I am including it in my Benbrook vlog. The name of this course is Pecan Valley Golf Course. It is actually made up of two courses, the River Course and the Hills Course. This course was designed in 1963, and the back 9 holes of the Hills Course were added in 1982. The River Course is considered the nicer of the two courses due to its terrific views along the Clear Fork of the Trinity River and due to having more trees. However, several hundred trees have been planted on the Hills Course and are beginning to mature, which will improve playing conditions on that course as well in the years to come. Pecan Valley offers challenging play for golfers at every skill level. I am very partial to Pecan Valley Golf Course because these are the courses, especially the Hills Course, where my oldest son learned to play golf. Now, before we drive you down Highway 377, we want to show you one surprise special location. Okay, I couldn't resist showing you this hidden little forest that's back here right off the start of the trailhead, the start of the Trinity Trails. I spent tons and tons of time here with my boys exploring this area when they were little, and it butts up right against the golf course, so we also spent a lot of time out here finding golf balls that had gone a little errant. Okay, so here we are in our first neighborhood in our tour of Benbrook, Texas. We're in this neighborhood. We're about only a block off of the shopping along 377. This neighborhood features homes, mid-size homes that were built in the mid-centuries, kind of the mid-1950s to mid-1960s. One thing about these older neighborhoods is that they're going to have really large trees. You can see this beautiful magnolia tree behind me. And if you've watched any of my other videos, maybe my Fort Worth video or the Aledo video that I have, you will notice that I love trees. And whenever there's big trees, I'm going to point that out. So this is a neighborhood that has big trees. This is a well-established community. They have the large trees, but they also have big backyards. This house we're going to look at in a minute is on 0.2 acres, so almost a quarter acre. So let's go up there and I'll show you that house along with its backyard. All right, this house is on the market for $275,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, just over 1,200 square feet. It was built in 1959 and it's $226 per square foot. As I mentioned, this house has a big backyard, almost a quarter of an acre. That's pretty typical here in the older sections of Benbrook. And behind that wooden fence, it's a 2-car length wide, and it runs all the way down the whole length of their property. And you can park an RV back there, you can park a boat, anything else that you might need, you can park back there. All right, here we are in our second home in our tour of Benbrook. This neighborhood was started around the year 2001. It's very close to a public golf course that features native vegetation such as cacti, yucca plants, and huge oak trees. It also is very close to a local elementary school and the local middle and high school. We're just south of Dutch Branch Park that I mentioned earlier with all of its recreation, and then also just off of 377 where we have all the stores and fast food places and other restaurants. So we're about to walk up to this house in just a minute. It is listed for $350,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. It's 1,736 square feet. It was built in 2015. It's being listed at $201 per square foot. Here it is right now behind me. It has an open concept, a beautiful kitchen with granite countertops, and in the backyard they have a gazebo with large trees. And right now we'll drive you around the neighborhood so you can see what it's like here. Here we are in our third neighborhood of our tour of Benbrook. We are inside a 500-acre master planned community in the Benbrook area. Technically it's Fort Worth, but you got Benbrook all around, so that's kind of where you're going to be going out to the parks and getting your food and doing a little shopping. This has views of downtown Fort Worth and Benbrook Lake, and still has some open ranch land to the west. This neighborhood is filled with parks and trails and green spaces with lots of room to bike, stroll, and jog. The amenity center has a large open pavilion. It's got playgrounds, it's got an outdoor kitchen, and it's got 2 resort-style swimming pools. There's eventually going to be 1,800 houses in this planned community. This house that we're coming up on right now is listed for $510,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. No, 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath house. It's approximately 2,600 square feet. It was built in 2017. It's listed at $195 per square foot. It's unique in that it has its primary bedroom downstairs. That's not always the case, but that's really nice sometimes. It's got an extended patio and it has real hardwood floors. So now that we've seen this house, let's go around, drive around, see the amenity center and some of the houses in this neighborhood. Okay, here we are at another neighborhood that's about 8 minutes south of the last 2 neighborhoods we were at. This neighborhood, behind me you'll see the older section of the neighborhood, which is fully built out. But if we move along, turn around here, you can see that this section that I'm in is a newly opened phase that's being built. They still have some vacant lots for sale, and they have some houses that are being constructed and some that have already been completed. This neighborhood, especially the older part behind me, was started in 2010. It's a private gated community of 1,000 acres. It's a master plan development, and the section that they just opened will also be gated, but at this point it's open due to all the construction. They have hilltop ranch views in this neighborhood, and they have 1 acre minimum lot sizes, so that's just awesome. They have deed restrictions to protect everyone's property values, but one great thing is there's no city taxes out here, and we're only about 20 minutes to downtown Fort Worth and just 6 minutes to IH-20, where you can get east or west or north, wherever you need to go in Fort Worth. These lots, they're lots that are available to build a custom home on. You can use any builder you want. There's no timeline to build. So it's an absolutely beautiful neighborhood. I'm going to take you to one house that's on the market right now, just under $1 million, and show you that. So let's go. All right, here we are. This house is listed at just under $1 million, $999,500. It's a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 2 living room, 2 dining room house. It's got 3,449 square feet. It was built in 2022, so virtually brand new. It is listed at $289 per square foot. It has a living room with vaulted ceilings and gorgeous wood beams in the ceiling. It also has large glass stackable folding doors that open to a covered patio. All right, we decided to show you one more home in this same neighborhood. This house is on the market for $769,000. It's 3,200 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2 living room, 2 dining rooms. It's new construction, like virtually complete. So it's year 2023. It's listed at $240 per square foot. It's on 1.1 acres of land. It has an open floor plan with custom cabinets, granite countertops, and beamed vaulted ceilings. And you can see this neighborhood does a good job of keeping native trees whenever possible. They have a nice little tree grove over here. So right now, let's drive you through the neighborhood and show you what it's all about. As promised, here we are at a filming location that was used for The Chosen. We are at Benbrook Lake, which was used as a setting for the Sea of Galilee. This location was used for the filming of The Miraculous Catch of Fish. If you're not familiar with The Chosen, it is the first ever multi-season series about the life of Jesus, and it can be viewed completely free in the Chosen app. The Chosen is the largest crowd-funded media project of all time. It's been translated in 62 languages. Their goal is to translate it dub it into 100 languages and translate it into a total of 500 languages. The Chosen has a goal of reaching 1 billion people, and their momentum just continues to build. Benbrook Lake has a lot to offer for lake enthusiasts. They have boat ramps and a marina where you can launch your own boat, or you can even rent a boat or a jet ski. The fishing is excellent. The swimming is fun. They have hiking, biking, and even horseback riding trails. You can camp, picnic, bird watch, or wildlife watch. And there's even a landing strip for remote controlled airplanes where people launch those, and there's a lot of people that do that as a hobby and they have a great time there. Remember, whether you're moving in 6 days or 60 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. You'll find all that information in the description below, and we'll be happy to show you around town.